They're not sending their best, folks. They're not. They're not sending their best. What they're sending is deadly fungus that will kill all of our crops. Yep. In a world where, you know, Israel and Iran are just kind of blowing the shit out of each other, having traditional warfare. China's over here trying to cripple our fucking our uh, our ability to produce food for ourselves, and we're not going to let it happen. Shout out to the New York Post. Chinese scientists accused of smuggling biological matter into the U.S. will stay in jail. Based. Two Chinese scientists. I covered this last week, by the way. Not on my last Clown War Chronicles. I think it was on the Clown War Chronicles before that, number 125. Two Chinese scientists accused of smuggling or shipping biological material into the United States for use at the University of Michigan will remain in custody after waiving their rights to a hearing on Friday in federal court. Yun King Jian and Cheng Juan Han said in separate court appearances in Detroit that they would not challenge the government's request to keep them locked up while their cases move forward. That's actually kind of surprising to me, to be honest. Quote, this is a constantly evolving situation involving a large number of factors, Han's attorney Sarah Garber told the judge. She didn't elaborate and later declined to comment. They probably want as much goodwill as they could possibly get. You know, the idea is like they're flight risk. It's like, no, we don't want bail. You know, kind of like an olive branch. Like this, they're totally innocent. They're so innocent, they're not going to flee to China. In fact, they're going to offer themselves to be remanded so that they can't flee to China. Okay, so like, and here's the obvious question: if they were just doing research, why did they have to smuggle the shit in illegally? Like, why couldn't they just, you know, why couldn't they just, bring it in through proper channels? You know, I'm sure there's a legal above board way for them to get this fungus into the United States for study. Like, why were they trying to sneak it in illegally? What were they hoping to accomplish? Would both of these girls, by the way. Han was arrested Sunday at Detroit Metropolitan Airport after arriving on a flight from China, where she is pursuing an advanced degree at Huzhong University of Science and Technology in Wuhan. Wuhan. It's always Wuhan. She planned to spend a year completing a project at the University of Michigan lab and is accused of shipping biological matter months ago to laboratory staff. It was intercepted by authorities. The FBI, in a court filing, said the material is related to worms and lacked a government permit. Experts told Associated Press it didn't appear to be dangerous. Yeah, Associated Press experts. Like, who are these experts? Expert fatigue. Jian's case is different. She's charged with conspiring with her boyfriend, another scientist from China, to bring a toxic fungus into the United States, Fusarium garmanirum. Fusarium garmanirum can attack wheat, barley, maize, and rice. Maize is corn. The boyfriend, Xiang Lu, was turned away at the Detroit airport last July and sent back to China after authorities found red plant material in his backpack. Jian, who worked at the university lab, was arrested June 2nd. Messages between Jian and Lu in 2024 suggested that Jian was already tending to Fusarium garmanirum at the lab before Lu was caught at the airport, the FBI said. Jian's attorney declined to comment on Friday. Federal authorities so far have not alleged that the scientists had planned to unleash the fungus somewhere. Fusarium garmanirum is already prevalent in the U.S., particularly in the East and Upper Midwest, and scientists have been studying it for decades. Nicknamed vomitoxin because it's most known for causing livestock to throw up. It can also cause diarrhea, abdominal pain, headache, and fever in animals and people. Researchers often bring foreign plants, animals, and even strains of fungi to the U.S. to study them, but they must file certain permits before moving anything across state or national borders, which they didn't do. And I mean, maybe they were just trying. I mean, if I'm being as charitable to these people as I possibly can be, maybe they were just trying to like skirt a little red tape. Say maybe it's an expensive hoop to jump through, and they just wanted to save money. But I personally think it's possibly more sinister than that. I mean, sure, just because this fungus already exists in the United States doesn't mean they can't spread it further. You know, I mean, where did it say it was prevalent? In the East and Upper Midwest. Yeah, okay, so you know, East and Upper Midwest. We don't do a ton. I think that's mostly cattle farming up in that section of the country. Um, we could it could what if it spreads to our cornfields in the lower Midwest? You know what I'm saying? We don't just use that for corn. We use that for animal feed. We use that for all kinds of stuff. We export a lot of corn. Excuse me. The university has not been accused of misconduct. It said it has received no money from the Chinese government related to the work of the three students. Or the three scientists, I'm sorry. In a statement, it said it strongly condemns any actions that seek to cause harm, threaten national security, or undermine the university's critical public mission. Yeah, it is interesting that the two scientist chicks would, willingly remand themselves. Again, that actually kind of makes them look good. Like, it's like I was saying before, it could make it seem like, look, we definitely didn't do anything. We had no malfeasance. We'll even allow ourselves to stay in jail. Like, we won't fight it. We won't try to get out. We won't try to like flee the country. Just please, please, bro. um, yeah. So I don't know. I'm actually super interested in this particular story, and I'll probably follow it for as much as I can. Uh, yeah, and hopefully we get more updates soon. But yeah, no. Let me know what you think below. Do you think that this is a weird thing for them to do, or do you think that this is them kind of like trying to make themselves seem like, okay, look, we really didn't mean to do anything wrong here. There's no malfeasance. It's just, we're not going to try to flee the country, whatever. Let me know in the comment below. Make sure to like the video and sub to the channel and follow the links and sub to all my other channels. Follow me on X. Come check out the game streams Tuesday through Thursday on Cloud World Gaming, and check out the podcast Clown War Chronicles on Saturday morning, and throw me a bone.